Mm. Good morning. Good morning. You're watching Visionary Aging, and we are having lots of technical difficulties today, but it's my birthday, so who cares? Um, I'm Mary Winters. I'm a gerontologist who wants to finish up. Here we go. We put the show together so that you can age successfully. You can have resources that are beneficial and supportive to you. And we're going to talk about isolation. And we're going to have a wonderful guest on. Her name is Sue. And first, we're going to go ahead. We're talking a lot about social isolation, but we're going to have Steve McCullough on to answer a caregiver question. Hey, Steve, how are you? Oh, you're on mute. We're not starting out too great. Okay, now it's going to be a perfect program.
There you go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to, you know what? There are a lot of people who have their birthday today.
Yes.
Some of them have passed, like Mary Queen of Scots. Do you know that it's kind of a musical birthday? It's Sammy Davis Jr.'s birthday. It is Jim Morrison's birthday. It is Sinead O'Connor's birthday. So those are the ones that we have in the past. But somebody we get to celebrate today with is Nicki Minaj is today. She's my girl. And we have country singer Sam Hunt. So yeah, I'm in good company. So
they're in good company.
Yeah. So tell me what your question is for today.
Yes, our question comes from one of the viewers, and they want to know that, well, they mentioned that since COVID, they've been self-isolating, and they want to know why it's considered bad, and because it's so comfortable for them and so easy for them. So what's the downside?
Actually, the CDC has announced a war on social isolation, and they're kind of stepping away from calling, during COVID, we were saying socially isolate. They're saying that was probably a bad term, and we should have been calling it just physical distancing. So what we've created is an opportunity for people to stoop into lots of depression, issues around, let's just put it bluntly, your life will be shorter. It actually is a bigger risk to you than heart disease, than smoking tremendously. If you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, it's worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. It is worse than it's if you were completely not moving. Melinda will be able to speak to this too. If you were completely sedentary, is the word I was looking for, it is worse than that. They know that we have a 50% higher increase of having dementia if you socially isolate. And we also know that if you are spending time with friends and connecting, that you have almost 30% rate of reducing your heart disease, and about the same for risk for stroke too. So it's really important to find your person and to really know to really get your people together. So I've actually even been connecting more with friends, and we're getting together at little events and so forth. But we're doing a deeper dive. It's just been really interesting how almost magical it is to be back at that kind of pre-COVID phase where we're connecting and sharing deep things. It was almost like COVID created a bubble for us where we were isolating emotionally from people and only spending time with our little bubble. And now it's time to start expanding that. We don't have to have tons and tons of people that we talk to. We just need to have those deep dive, heartfelt relationships and friendships that we need to really connect on. So I'm looking forward to my birthday party. My sister was so gracious to have a party for me. And so I'm looking forward to seeing some friends that I haven't seen for a while and some that I see all the time, and just really, getting those hugs in and having a good time.
Excellent.
Yeah. So anything else that our viewer was really kind of worried or concerned about?
Their question was pretty short. Just mentioned that it was easier for them to be alone, and which I understand to a certain extent. And I think there are certain people that are more adept to being by themselves and handling issues on their own. But not everybody's like that. Not everybody is wired like that, right? And I think that we just as a society we're social. We need to interact, and we need to have someone there to have a shoulder to lean on at times, or a voice to hear to be comforted or something.
It's so true. And especially if you have something severe that you're going through, that's not a good thing to isolate yourself and not share what kind of support or help or prayers or whatever it is that you might need. Like, let me just really quickly, but I'm excited because if you don't have a best human friend, you need a best animal friend. And Susan Kowalski is from an organization, Pets for the Elderly. And it's so important. We see people just become so inspired and so energized and so happy when they come across a pet or something that they can connect with. And I think our family friends are oftentimes just as important as our human friends. But let me tell you.
I totally agree. And I think I mentioned this before on one of the prior shows. When my mom was in a hospital, there were times where you could have a nice conversation with her, but a lot of times you couldn't. You didn't know, if it was the medication, if she was tired, or what the situation was. But there was 2 days where a lady came in and she had a dog. It wasn't a service dog. It was a dog that she brought into the hospitals to visit patients. And my mom, her whole personality came back. And
yeah, it's amazing what you trigger
up, and she was active, and she was happy, and I think it was just a great experience.
You know what? I was going to talk about Shape Up and the importance of all those connections and how everyone is interconnected and so forth, but I'm going to bring Susan on. I think we just need to start talking about our animals and how important they are too, and I'll have you come back in just a minute.
Sounds good. Have a great show.
Thank you. Yeah, this is very exciting. So Pets for the Elderly, it's just such an important organization with what they do and how they support our seniors. And let me bring her in right now and talk about how important our pets are to us. Hi, Susan. How are you? Oh, she might be a little bit frozen. We seem to be having some little technical difficulties, but she's back. Susan, tell us a little bit about Pets for the Elderly. You know what? I think I'm going to have her come back in and see if we can restart. Are you there, Susan? Yeah, I'm not sure why we're having such hard connection day today. But let's see if we can. I'm going to have her see if she can come back in. And in the meantime, are you there, Susan? Oh, great. Okay, wonderful. Yes, I was going to have you come back in, but tell us a little bit about all the energy and wonderful things that you're doing with Pets for the Elderly.
Oh, Thank you. It's wonderful. We started in our founder had some intuitive knowledge back in 1992 about the importance of pet companionship and the importance of getting animals out of shelters, especially in that time period. There was a lot more euthanasia for space needs, that kind of thing. So he had this dual purpose, and that remains our dual purpose, to provide companionship to older adults. And I'm not always fond of this, but we call older adults 60 and over. But yeah. He seemed to know then, and he used funding that he got from selling a business.
Wow, that's very
generous. And reduced cost adoptions into stable homes with older adults, and providing that companion pets permanent homes. In 2002, we expanded. We went national. We would like to have at least, we do all our work through shelters, and we would like to have at least one free state, different, more in some of the larger states, and we're still expanding. And at the middle of July, my last reporting session, we have facilitated 8,000 adoptions.
Wow.
And then in 2021, we expanded to allow shelters to offer some other services. So not just to acquire a pet, but to be able to keep that pet, to get some help with, only at certain shelters, but to get some help with veterinary costs or retention.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So it was interesting to me that you mentioned isolation.
Mm-hmm.
We have talked about not, but we have tried to stress in all of our research and outreach to other people how important it is to not be lonely.
Yes.
And people didn't always get it, especially maybe some younger folks when I'm fundraising and saying, this is so important for health and wellness.
It is.
COVID changed that. Now everybody gets it about how tough that isolation and loneliness is. So.
Yeah, I wonder now, did that kind of increase what you were doing as far as connecting seniors with pets during COVID? Because if we were isolating from human beings, I understand there was a huge increase in purchasing of pets, and people were staying home, so they had time to be with a pet and nurture a pet. What was happening in your world?
We stayed pretty stable for the older population. I think it was a lot of mid-aged folks who were working from home for the first time and had that time to spend. We stayed pretty stable, affected only by the number of, because our work is done through shelters, by those that were closed down for a time. But one of the things that became very apparent during that time is when we talk about that connectivity, you were still out walking your dog, and maybe you could only smile and nod and wave from across the street, but still saw people. Or at least you got to interact with the veterinarian. And so the pets still allowed for a little more connectivity during that period. I have a favorite story. I have a lot of favorite stories.
Okay. Tell us the story. I love stories.
I get the best email and the best stories. And when my shelters report, they send photos of actual adoptions, and so everybody smiling, the senior and the dog or the cat. But one of the best examples, and I've told this very often, is a friend of mine was an executive director at a shelter that's in our program, and she talked about this man who came in pretty regularly looking for the right pet, and so he was known as this kind of lonely worker, and finally found the right dog. Went to the back room and did the paperwork, and happened a little white fluffy dog, you know, everybody oohs and ahs over. So as he walked out of adopting the program where he adopted his animal, everybody was carrying on, and he just brightened because all these people were responding to him, and his was, when I grew up to be a chick magnet. So yeah, he knew he was getting attention that way.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's really, actually, and their pets have to be great conversation starters. I'm sure there are a lot of men, young men, or maybe older men too, who enjoy taking a dog out, especially a puppy, and there are people that will be drawn to you to want to talk with you, and that could be a great social connection as well. I think we're frozen here a little bit, but we're talking to Sue Korowski from Pets for the Elderly, and she has some wonderful stories and some things that just are heartwarming and exciting to share with you. They're nationwide. Sue, share another story. You're coming in and out a little bit still, but share another story with us.
I seem to
You're back.
Fade out when the garbage truck goes by. I'm sorry.
It's just the way it happens, right?
I received a letter from a woman who wrote and said, thank you for helping adopt Lady. I am 72 years old, and she has taught me to laugh and play again.
Oh.
And I think that's one of the things that pets do for us. They teach us to be mindful. They live in the moment.
Yes.
And they help us to do the same, to not stew and ruminate.
Right. So true. They don't know when the bills are due. They don't know. All they know is that they love you, and maybe they need to be fed or go outside. But most of the time they want to cozy up to you. So.
Well, and that's the other good thing. Not just wanting to be fed or taken outside, but keeping us mindful of being on a schedule and of taking our medications on time so we can be there for that entity, that being that needs us.
Right. Absolutely. Sue, how do people get a hold of you?
We have a website, and my email is on that. I think our office phone number is on that as well. It is petsfortheelderly.org. You have to put all those E's in there in the middle. Don't miss that. And I am Susan at petsfortheelderly.org. We would love to have people reach out. We can, on our website, it shows if there is a shelter near you that is in our program. And also, if anybody happens to be in a state where we don't currently have a participating shelter and they want to recommend a good participant, we're very open to that as well.
That's wonderful. Now, are you in Ohio, or are you founded in Ohio?
We were founded in Ohio. The board of directors is there. When I joined the organization 18 years ago, I was living in Ohio, but my husband retired, and I was fortunate that the board let me take my job with me. I was one of the first home-based people in 2012. Actually, I became based in 2008, but I am in Arizona.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I have to say that our entire team here has a connection to Ohio, so this is kind of fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What area?
Well, I'll let you talk to them and ask them. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and bring Melinda in. She is our health and fitness expert. And I'm going to bring you back at the very end of our show if you're able to stay on, and we can ask those very questions. So I'm going to go ahead. Sue, thank you so much for coming, and I'll bring you back towards the end of the show if you can hang on with us. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to bring in Melinda. Let's see if I can find her little intro. There we go. Good morning, Ohio person.
Ohio, born and raised.
Yeah. So I think Steve has a connection to Ohio as well. He has lots of family out there. So social isolation, we know it's not good for our brains. I don't think it's good for our bodies either, with our hearts and everything else. So share from your perspective what you think about social isolation.
It's so vital for your health, mental and physical. They've done studies that show that when people commit to an exercise program or a nutrition plan, that having a buddy or having their, their person, like you're talking about, who's your person.
Yeah, who's your person?
Yeah, when you have that person on board with whatever your goal is, you're going to achieve it. You're going to have a higher success rate, and it's going to come to you a lot faster. And that's one of the reasons, I don't know if you remember, Mary, but because you joined us during COVID.
I did. I couldn't go to the gym, so I needed to. I was I was walking up the stairs and I was like, why am I so weak? Why am I imbalanced? Why? Because I haven't been to the gym for how long? So I was so grateful to find the strength shop too, and have my little my little community. And because I get early, I'm still that small little community inside of the gym, but I have my one-on-one person every day or every time I work out to
that's
with. And
about having a personal trainer is that you do have that buddy, that person keeping you accountable, keeping you excited, helping you show up when you don't really want to show up. But through right after that COVID period of time, like the real COVID, we introduced our Bring a Friend Week. And the purpose behind our Bring a Friend Week is to expose people's friends and family to their workout so that they know, their people know what they're doing and can support them, at home with their goals. And it's been very successful in that. We don't necessarily, get those people coming in to train with us regularly, but just exposing them to say, it's kind of like a bring your friend to work day.
Yeah. That's fun. That's fun. You want to bring your friends to work, to work out.
To work out. That's our Bring a Friend Week. And it gives the opportunity for the people, for our clients, the people in their life to know what they're doing and get excited about it for them and to be able to support them in that. And that is invaluable.
It is.
So that, it's a real big deal. But that's, those are the benefits of working out with a personal trainer and of having, letting your friends and family in on your goals. And even better if you can find someone who has a similar goal and wants to kind of be your buddy in it.
Right. Absolutely. I'm going to show your phone number really quick too, because I did kind of a weird thing here with your phone number. Hold on, we'll fix that. But we share your contact information because I think it was like life-changing. Steve started too in COVID.
Yeah. And you've both been so consistent.
I know. Well, it becomes not just a routine; it becomes part of what you want in your week too. So it's really important. I think we should go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Give us a call at 626-999-4850 if you have any questions about it.
Great. Well, I'm going to bring Steve back in, and we'll bring Sue back in. I think that she's still with us. And Steve, why don't you tell us about this day in sports? Just a minute. We'll do a quickie today.
Sure.
I have waiting for me at the shop. I have to run in.
Right,
But
Melinda.
Okay.
birthday, Mary. It was so
Thank you.
on a show with you on your birthday. Have a wonderful we all love you so much.
Thank you. We'll be able to celebrate soon. So it's fun. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
So
So-
Sue's back with us. Yeah.
So this day in sports, it was 1987, and the city was Boston. And Ron Hextall, who was a goalie for the Philadelphia Flyers, scored. He was the first goalie to score a goal on his own shot. So there's been 17 goals scored by goalies, by 14 different goalkeepers. Some of them have been own goals. So where the goalie is the last person to touch the puck. But the opposing team put the puck into their own net. But on this day, 1987, Ron Hextall actually intentionally shot the puck from his goal crease and scored a goal. So he shot a puck about, I think it's like 120 meters away and to a net that's about 6 feet wide. And it was like, get it through, all the other players on the ice and into the net. It was the first time it's ever happened.
That's called skill or luck. I don't know. Maybe
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
That's great.
Sue, it's great listening to you. I'm from Ohio as well. I grew up in Youngstown.
Are you? We were founded in the Cleveland area, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Very close to that.
yeah.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Well, I loved your story.
Oh, it's a great story. And again, petsfortheelderly.org. It's really something that everybody should check out. And if you don't have one in your state or your area, reach out to Sue. And it sounds like you'll make that happen pretty quickly. In business time.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to now share our connecting a program called Shape Up Your Longevity, and it's an acronym for some things here. And let me share with that. Oh, I don't know why our thing likes to do this, but okay. So I'm going to go away from this. But it's an acronym. Each letter starts for something. Shape Up stands for spiritual community, healthy life balance, getting all of your health things checked out on a regular basis, getting all your legal matters checked through, getting your power of attorney established and your healthcare directive established, a trust if you need one. Then also attitude and influencers. Sometimes we can have the best attitude in the world and we can be a positive influence on others. Who are the people you want to be around? Who are the people that you love that influence you? Call them today. Do that. Physical activity. Melinda is our expert in that area. Our eating habits. What are the tiny little things you might be able to change today that can make a difference for you tomorrow? And United Family, it may not be blood relative, but who do you consider your person, your tribe, your family? Who do you enjoy spending time with, and who's uplifting? Who's that social connection for you? And P for purpose. Find something every day, or find that topic or that thing that energizes you. Sue, it feels like pets and animals or something that you will want to be around and love, and that is your purpose. And we thank you so much for the work that you do, and supporting our seniors and taking care of all these wonderful animals who really need to be loved just as much as our seniors do.
Right.
So
Excellent.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and end our day. Oh, it's actually, I didn't pull up the perk, but it's National Brownie Day. So call Ginny at 626-359-0108 and she'll get the perk out to you for free. We'll go ahead and end it with our little.
I see a brownie sundae in your future for your birthday, Mary.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, those are lethal for me. I love brownies and chocolate chip cookies. So, woo.
Have,
All right.
Have a good day.
Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for the
Bye,
birthday
y'all.
wishes. Appreciate it.